So let me take you through my brain. Let me show you what I'm thinking for the week. I think this is the first time I'm doing this on Twitter. I might do a lot of this, and I think I might end up. I might upload this on YouTube as well, so you can check it out on YouTube as well. So I don't like to analyze the market, especially looking at the entire market on the weekend and on Monday, because like there's a lot of things that happen on Monday going into Tuesday. So the best time you want to analyze the market for the week, especially if you are intraday trader looking for opportunities for the whole week, will be New York session on Tuesday. That is the best time to be looking at doing a market breakdown, right? So, but if you're a day trader and you want to analyze it every day, then it doesn't really matter. You can do it every day. I'm going to be doing a very broad analysis, maybe on a few pairs. I'm currently not sure, but I'm just going to go with a steez now and see where this is going to lead us into. So first, I'm going to start with gold because I already called a trade on gold, and I think gold is going to continue pushing to the upside into this area before we look to sell. So just to remind you that gold is still bearish. We have a bearish market structure on almost any higher time frame. Like you can see, like currently gold is ranging, like we are kind of in a range, kind of, right? But there is a potential reversal pattern. That is what I mean. So the reversal pattern, you can all see we have a head and shoulders pattern here. Right, shoulder, another shoulder. So head and double shoulders. Right. But if you draw the neckline, if you draw your neckline like so, you can see this is actually a retest. And currently the price is looking to go back and test again, and then we fall off. So long-term gold is a big sell-off, big sell-off. There are some very significant levels that price might be looking to test again. One of them will be this area here, major breakpoint that price needs to test. The other levels that I've highlighted in the past, just slightly below it. Let's see. All right, so I'll move this slightly here. Right, so in the midterm, this is what we should be looking at. So if we get price pumping to the upside, then we are looking for to that level is 1,500 pips. So if you are still not in a long-term swing trade on gold, you should be praying, even if you are not buying, pray that the market pushes up here and then you sell from here with your stop above here or here, and then you go for 1,500 pips. So if you're going for 1,500 pips, you should be ready to risk at least 200 or 300 pips. I mean, even if three are risking 300 pips, that's the 1:5 risk reward ratio. I don't know. Most people would complain about the stop loss being 380 pips. Potential, like it could be either 380 pips or 200 pips. But they are forgetting that the TP is 1,000, almost 1,600 pips. So, I mean, I don't know, the stop loss gang, I don't know. But yeah. So yep, that is what I'm looking at on gold. I call this trade is currently doing decent. Like, I mean, there could be a very small pullback. I'm not sure whether landing. It's 1 hour away from landing session now. Maybe we might get a pullback here. Don't panic when we get a pullback. It actually makes sense to get a pullback back to test here. So something like that. Boom, and then. So if you're not buying this, just wait for price to pull back into 23.20, and then you buy this to the upside. I mean, this is my TP1, this is my TP2, but If you want a smaller stop loss after price comes into the zone and rejects, this stop loss is 160 pips, but technically this trade was actually no drawdown, so you could actually keep your stop loss at 61 pips. You can have a 61 pips and then 330 pips RR, but the way I do my things is a little different. I have a 160 pip stop loss, but I might still end up making more money than people with how do you call it, 60 pip stop loss or whatever. So it's about what you know and how you're applying it. There are so many ways you could scale in when you're in profits and still keep your risk decent, right? Because I mean, there is no like major fundamental that is going to ruin it, but just keep things consistent, right? Give enough room for your trades to breathe. There's no, I don't know, it's not fancy to have a fancy stop loss. You just need to make money at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So that's what is important. So gold, what I think it might happen is, I mean, if you bought this, you expect it to continue pushing up. For those that have not bought it yet, you wait for this, a pullback back into this zone here, and then TP1, and then TP2, and then we look to down from here. So that's my outlook on gold. And if you're looking at gold like that, then you expect GU to do the same thing. So GU, I marked this up. There is this, all this area is a potential supply zone on the 7-hour time frame, and price has created demand on the 2-hour. So what I think is going to happen is, I still feel like GU should do a 1.618 retracement. So for the 1.618 retracement, we need to pull back into this area. I don't know if I should do the fibs again. So 61.8% retracement is the same as 38.2 if you watch my video on the fib levels, and your next target will be 1.618, right? So, and it's the same as a 2x2. Like if you've been following and watching my videos, you know that if you do a 2x2 from here to here, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but your 2x2 ends on the 141.4 thereabouts. But yes, if you don't use the fibs, you can also use the 2x2 here. You can also use the 2x2 here, and then look for profits around this level here. I think this coincides with this area here, right? So there is confluence with the fibs, and I think there are some significant levels here as well, like going into all this area here. Hold on, let me do a quick scan of the time. Okay, right. So yeah, this is a big rally zone, big demand zone on the, what time frame was that? This is a 6-hour time frame, right? So this is what I'm basically thinking, and this is based on the fact that I'm expecting Dixie to drop for the retest here. But if you look on the 8 hours, there is confluence here, and coming from the daily time frame, it's like we are looking at a potential 50% or even 100% retracement. Why am I looking at that? So with our fib from the high to the previous low, this is the 50%, which I've marked here. But if you look deep down, the 88% and 100% also look the same. So this can actually tend to be a deeper retracement, and that would be because this zone is very solid. The reason why this zone is very, very solid was this area used to be a very strong supply zone, but price broke through supply, and then supply turned demand, which is also a very strong support level. So if price comes to this level here, it's a good buy for the Dixie. That is like the Dixie is done. It's most likely looking to take out all these highs here, right? So this is good. This happens today, that is perfect. But on the daily, maybe it might take today and tomorrow if you look at the way the daily is looking at. So maybe today we might just drop a little bit here, pull back, and then tomorrow drop again. So that is the reason why I think gold would continue pushing up and GU would continue pushing up. So you can look for other opportunities on Euro USD as well. Euro USD could also present a good opportunity, but it's not really looking so interesting to me compared to GU and gold. But the potential is there, especially looking at the Dixie. Let me quickly scan around, see which levels we are sitting around, right? So we are kind of coming off of this area here, and we have a decent test here and a test here, which is a good double top. If we go with the expansion here, we have this to play with. So currently, if you want to take the risk, this is entry. Stop loss could be below the zone here, and this is TP1. TP2, you could target TP2 because of this supply zone here. So this gives you about stop loss below here. TP1 is 1:6.8, TP2 is 2.6 risk reward ratio, which is not that bad. Depending on, like, looking at Dixie, we will get TP3, that would be like something needs to be pushing this, right? But TP2 makes sense for EU. But the structure, comparing the two, I'd rather go for GU than EU, because like if you look at GU has already created a base. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, not quite. Okay, I'm on the 11-hour time frame. Hold on. Right, we've created some kind of a base. Like if you look closely, I think we'll see it clearer on the lower time frame. The 30 minutes, you can see there is a head and shoulders pattern created. Like there is a base created. Compared to EU looks like it is still developing. Okay, not quite, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is the GU looks cleaner in terms of what I would normally look at. But both looks good, especially if we are looking at the Dixie dropping. This looks good, but this is what might happen, right? This area is very significant. So what I think is going to happen is price pumps up into this zone here, drop back down, something like that. So pump, drop back, mostly back into this area before it pushes up. And I see that happening on almost a GU as well. Like I said, this 7-hour zone here, I see a pump, dump, and a push to the upside. So keep an eye. If you don't want to buy now, that is okay. Wait for New York session, because the best, if you are day trading, the best time to trade any USD pair is the New York session. Gold, indices, USD pairs, silver is the New York session, right? So you can wait for landing my push up and dump in New York. You're good to ride this bad boy to the upside. So that is something I'm looking at. You could get similar opportunities on. You should be looking to sell a USD card. So USD card, I was looking bullish here. We had a significant push, came back for the rate test here. But if the dollar is looking weak, then we might take out this low here for now. And the price action is also pretty bearish on the 4-hour time frame, right? You see this more cleaner on the 30 minutes. So you can see on the 30 minutes here, we've created, right? We are stepping down, and this makes a lot of sense, right? So USD card looks good, especially on the 30 minutes. Like you can see the price action is pretty clean. Pretty clean price action on the 30 minutes. So this looks very decent. Let me see where we are trading relative to the EMA. So yeah, it looks good. We just broke the EMA. If you're a trend line trader, you're looking at something like that. So if you're a trend line trader, you're kind of still looking for that breakout. And how would you do a TP here? So if I'm doing a TP, I already have my ABC. I could do my expansion. So with the expansion, this is entry. With the expansion, this would have been the first entry if I was trading with this and I wanted to sell USD card. Entry number 1, and this is the breakout here is entry number 2, and you go for TP1. Mostly, if you go for the entry number 1, the risk reward is good, because with entry number 1, if you want to be aggressive, this is your stop loss right here. But most of the time, depending on how volatile the instrument, you might get taken out. But mostly with that, the RR is good. It's very fast, and this one is giving like 1:, almost 6 reward ratio, 1.58. But mostly you want to keep it at a high, which will now give you 1:3.4 ratio. But if you're doing the second level here, there are 2 ways to go about the stop loss. Your stop loss mostly can go to this level here, which is a little like it's too aggressive for me. So what I would mostly do for TP1, you are still getting 3.6 ratio, but I would increase it back to original entry, right? And I'll have like 1:8 and target TP2 if I am going for this entry here. So USD card looks very decent to me. I think it looks better than Euro USD. So that is something that looks kind of decent. So maybe we might break out and then go for the rate test and then boom to the downside. So the USD is looking very interesting. You can kind of find the same kind of pattern with AUD USD. So this was a scalp on Friday. TP came very close to TP and bounced to the upside. We got out of this trade. It was just a short scalp. I think the same thing on NZD USD as well. Right. So with this, so I'm currently on a 30 minutes. Let's start from the daily time frame. Let's try and see what we have here as well. So you can see here, coming from the 3D time frame, we're actually very trading on the bigger time frame. We are trading kind of sideways. The reason why I say sideways is low high. It's like we're trading inside kind of this, right? You know what I mean? So on the 3D time frame, you see prices kind of converging like that, right? So we could come all the way here, test here and pull back, or we stay here and push up. But long term, the dollar is actually strong, so this might just be a slight push back to the upside. Daily time frame, there's a lot of exhaustion here. You can see price is very exhausted coming into this area here. So I'm just quickly going to scan around and see what we have here. Very good support here. Let's go to the 6 hours. So we can see there is some momentum coming in on the 6 hour time frame. There's some good momentum here, and we have this looks like a developing head and shoulders pattern, 1, 2, and 3, which looks pretty decent. So this is where the kind of scenario where you want to use the speed resistance fan. I talked about the speed resistance fan in one of my recent videos. So what you are basically looking for is to take the fan, go from the high to the zone here. This is slightly modified based on the video I showed. I use different settings based on what I'm looking at. So if this 6 hour actually closed bullish, this is an aggressive buy. You can start buying from here, and this would be a straightforward trade where you take TP and the touch of the SP2 level here, right? So it's a combination of multiple things. If you want to use the expansion, like normally you don't want to use multiple strategies, but you can use them for confluence. So you go from 1, 2, 3. And with the expansion, this is your TP, your entry. So you're looking to buy here, and this is TP1. And like I said, if you're going for the aggressive first entry here, your TP1 mostly gives you greater than 1:5 risk reward ratio. So with this, you are going for that stop loss below here, and you always get your 1:3 risk reward ratio. So stop loss a little bit up. So that's 1:3 ratio. But this still looks kind of bearish. On the 30 minutes, we are still trading below the EMA, which is quite bearish. So what you would want to do here, if you're interested in buying a NZD USD, is to wait for this breakout of this high here. You might not be using the EMA, so wait for the breakout of the high and price come back for the raise test. Like, see that shift, at least see the shift happen on the 30 minutes, and then look to buy to the upside, right? That would be the safest way, because technically this is bearish, because like, you know, it is bearish, right? This is a bearish price action, right? Price took out this low, new low. This could be a new high. And then, so before you start buying, like, technically we've gotten a little shift here, because this is the price action: high, low, high, low, high, low, and high. So technically we've gotten that break here, which looks decent, but I feel more comfortable when the EMA is taken out. So you want to see something like that, and if it does this, that is still good. If it does this, that is still good, and then you can look to buy, right? And you can use the various methods to as your TP levels, or maybe just target price taking out, because this is a very decent, like, POI here, right? You have this POI here, and you see price could target taking out this level, maybe a little bit extreme, and take out that level too before it drops. Bear in mind that long term the dollar is bullish, so all these trades are retracements on the dollar, including EU, GU, and gold are all retracements on the dollar. But so far I think USD card looks cleaner to me. So you look for the break and retest, and you can sell this based off the structure on a 6-hour time frame. Look, it actually looks very decent on a 6-hour time frame, not gonna lie. We have the push test, break retest, solid 6-hour bearish candle. Looks decent. Even on the 4-hour, it looks cleaner. Yep. There's a solid head. We kind of have I need to sleep, man. We're gonna have this zone here that price needs to run into on the 4-hour time frame. So this could potentially give 1:4 ratio. So, like, getting a big RR is not a big deal. Like, there are so many approaches to do that, but just sometimes just give some room for price to break. Yes, you have, like, for personally, I have the tools to get very small RR, but sometimes it's just reasonable. Like, you could put your stop loss here and get 1:4 ratio, but sometimes it's just reasonable for you to put your stop loss above this level here and get that 1:2.6. Nothing happens, nothing spoil. Like, you still make money. That is what is important. And let the trade breathe. Like, let the trade have some breathing space. Like, you know. Yes, once price breaks this level here, so you take this trade here. Once price breaks this level here, and there is a confirmation that price is most likely going to drop down, at this point here, you could break even here at a break and rate test. You can now scale in as a new trade. It's a new trade here, and be a little aggressive here, whilst using the profit from here as leverage to scale in from this point here. And that's how you add to your winners. When the trade is about to start, until it start pushing, at that point you don't have leverage. But when it's pushed like 25% and you have that leverage, you can now risk all the 25% on a new trade, and that can be a good way of scaling in. Worst case scenario, this trade does not work out. This is where you'll be a little aggressive here, because you are trying to use the profit from here, so your stop might be here, right? So you are using the profit from here to here to take this trade and be a little aggressive. So in that case, you'll be making double money. This normal trade and this trade leveraging on this level here. So if this trade hits stop loss, you still come out as break even. But if it goes well, you have potential two solid trades, right? So there are different approaches to go about it. So if you see someone with a 1-to-1 ratio, until you see how the person is scaling in, you can't really say, oh, that is a bad RR. I mean, if the person might have a small RR, but if there is a good win rate, it's still good, because technically, if you've seen this maths, right? If you've seen this maths, you know that if you have a $500 account and you can double it 11 times, if you can double it 11 times, you can become a millionaire by turning your $500. So the person might have a very solid win rate based on the strategy he's trading. And yes, a good RR is good, but the person might increase the win rate significantly if he gives breathing space for the trades to break. And if he can do 1:2 11 times, he can easily turn $500 into $1 million. So don't underestimate low risk reward ratio, especially if it's on a higher time frame and the person is reasonable and not over leveraging and knows that the system is very solid proof. Don't underestimate a small RR if the win rate is very solid, right? So that is just by the way. That is just by the way. Huh. Interesting. I just had a notification from Facebook about a memory, and I can show this about a memory a year ago. I think I had a better setup a year ago. I moved from my previous place, and my setup, like I left some of my stuff over there. I didn't want to move everything, so my setup currently is still decent, but I prefer that setup more. So Facebook was like, yeah, you had a cooler setup. USD CHF it's not pushing like the other USD pairs. So if you're looking for the weakest link among the USD pairs, it's USD CHF. And with this 6-hour close here, that looks like pretty decent. But what is tricky here is with booking structure. We took out this level here to the upside here. So if you want to be like very solid proof and you want to go by the books, what you want to actually do, like following good price action, is to wait for that, and then that, right? That's what you would do if you want to stay safe. But if you want to go with the idea of the US dollar becoming strong weak in general, then at least wait for the 30 minutes break. See so many candles on the smaller time frame. It's not exciting. So just stick to the bigger time frame, wait for price to shift and sell this. So you see, if DZ becomes strong, just look for the USD pair that makes sense to you and trade. Like, you don't have to trade all of them. You can, but you can look for the this actually looks very decent. I mean, this looks good, but this level here is tricky. Let me see. Okay, so this candle closes in 11 minutes, depending on how it closes. So you want to close somewhere here below this level here. When that happens, it means price is going to dump, test this area, come back, test that area, and then dump back into this area here. So keep an eye on this candle here. Let me see how it looks on the 6-hour. The 6-hour candle is already closed. The 7 hours looks solid to dump, but the 8 hours just started, and the 9 hours is closing in 10 minutes time. So the 9-hour close is very critical. Very critical. The 10 hours close in 1 hour time. So then I think that the decision point here on USD CHF is the 9-hour close here, which happens in 10 minutes time. So I'm going to leave here now. Let's go look at other pairs. If we come back in 10 minutes and this has closed, then I'll tell you what you should do on USD CHF. But you can look at all these ones that we've talked about, right? You can look at all these ones. Another one, which one is left? USD JPY. I mean, USD JPY, you don't want to take a short here, even if USD is weak. This one is a tricky one. This one is a projectile, you know, so shoots up like that. You don't want to sell against this kind of momentum. For this one, you want to wait for the pullback and continue buying. But if you want to sell, that is your TP. If you decide to sell this, you're only selling this for 82 pips, and then you keep buying again, or wait and buy this one. Because one thing with the JPY is tricky, because both the USD and the JPY are funding currencies. So USD JPY is one of the tricky pairs to trade. That's why sometimes you see USD is strong and it's still doing its own thing, because it is a funding currency, and both JPY and USD come strong at the same time, which makes trading USD JPY a little tricky. You have to fall on the one that has the best technicals for the market to push in that direction, right? So if you look on the 30 minutes, something is cooking here. You can see there is a head and shoulders here, but this is the 30 minutes. Like, you don't have to trust anything here. But if you want to at least get a breakout of here, something like that, you need to box the whole area like that. If you get something like that, a breakout and a retest, you can scalp this down here. You see confluence, the SP2 and this one here matches perfectly. That's what you would want to do, right? But I mean, waiting for the buy looks like the best idea. Let me see what the higher time frame is doing. Let's start from the daily time frame. We all know this is super bullish, but I like to familiarize myself with what is happening around me. So let me just delete everything and just go down the time frame, the time frames, and right. So that area is solid. This area here is solid for the retest. So some retests need to happen, right? But trading in anticipation of a retest is tricky, because the retest might or might not happen. So if you are trading and expecting it to happen, then that gets very, very, very tricky, right? But because the dollar is looking to be weak, this might be a good sell. And I'll also show you why this might be a good sell, because I'm expecting a strength in there. So on the 4-hour, this looks good. It actually looks good on the 4-hour. Look at the last 4-hour close. The last 4-hour close here. This closes in the next 3 hours. But at least you want to sell here. That is still good. Like, if you wait for this, you still have a decent RR. Like, your stop would be solid proof above here, and your TP is here, which is a 2.26. Not that bad. So wait for that good price action to come in, especially if you are trading against this kind of momentum, right? But if the strength of the dollar decreases like we are anticipating, then you expect that push very significant. So based on all I've talked about, just look for the best USD pair to trade. Gold looks like the pullback is already happening, so just wait for the pullback and continue buying. GU, I would expect it to push a little bit up before the pullback. So let's look at other JPY pairs like GBP JPY. So GBP JPY is also very, very, very bullish. And the best thing to do is to wait to buy. So let's start from the 3D time frame. Let's just work down the time frame. Just familiarize ourselves on how bullish this is. This is very bullish, like bullish. It is more bullish than bullish. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I said that. 16 hours. So on the 16 hours, this area here is significant. So price pulling back down here from current price is 66 pips, right? 13 hours, 12 hours, 11 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours, 8 hours. Yep. So this is bullish, but there's going to be a pullback. So I think I like the 5-hour level more. Right. So this is what you're looking for. You want GJ to drop about 80 pips, and then you buy it again. Simple. You're just looking for that area to be retested, and then you buy it again. So that's what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a TP point, how would you go about it? You can use pips here. So I would do something like this. This area here. I don't know where exactly price is going to test. So let's say it comes into the 50 level. I'll go for TP1 at 127 and TP2 at 1.618. Those will be my two levels here. So if this does happen and you are buying this, your entry is around here. TP below the low, TP1 here, which is 1:4.3 RR, and TP2 1.618 would be 1:2 ratio. So if this makes sense to you, then this might be something you might be looking to buy. Or if you are aggressive and greedy, then you might want to take the sell into this area here, which is extremely tricky, but it's very similar to USD JPY. But I'd rather sell GJ than sell USD JPY, even though the dollar is looking to be weak. Because per experience, the GJ has very clean structures. It doesn't really play around that much. If it wants to push, it will just push. It will just push. So depending on how this candle actually closes, it's 2 minutes more, so I'll just wait. If this candle closes the way I'm expecting it to close, I'll call a trade here right now. But I'm not going to send this video right now. I have to finish recording. I don't know when you see this, if it still looks good for you to sell, you can go ahead and sell. This is 1:3 ratio, so that's solid. But we'll wait 2 minutes for the candle to close. But let me go back and check on USD CHF. Let's see how we are closing. I think it also closes in 2 minutes time. Where's USD CHF? USD. So that was the 7-hour candle. No, 9 hours. Sorry. Yes, so it's looking good. If it closes like this, that is perfect. That is perfect. If it closes like this, it's going to do exactly this: push down, pull back, and then down. So 1 more minute, and then we'll have 2 confirmed trades: USD CHF, GJ, and even potentially USD JPY. So it looks like there is good opportunities in the market today, or this week in general. So 1 minute countdown for the candle close. 1 minute countdown for the candle close. One minute countdown. 56 seconds to go. So let's quickly have a look at CHF JPY. CHF JPY is like the craziest amongst them because JPY is weak, which was pumping price up extremely. and CHF became strong. That was like a double, right? Became like super, it went ballistic like that. Super ballistic. Just projectile. So if you are looking to scalp any of the JPYs, please stay away from this one. Telling this is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. You want to stay away from this one in particular. It looks like the candle has closed. USD CHF. Let's see. So this is good. USD CHF 9-hour close is good. This is confirming a sell. So we have price pushing here, test, pullback, and then down. So this is also a good news for the other USD pairs like Euro USD, confirming that there is a high probability that price might pump to the upside, which is good. USD card is also telling you that we might pump to the push to the downside, which is absolutely very, very, very good news. Very, very good news. So I think this is a confirmed weak USD, so you can capitalize on this. Gold is pulling back into the 4-hour zone. Was it a 4-hour? Yes, into the 4-hour zone to push back up again. Right. So this is a lot of JPY basket is still dropping. Yes, but you can see this is on the 4-hour time frame. You can see the current price action here. It looks like the basket might push back, test this area, and then drop. And that makes sense why GJ might be looking to sell. Let's go back and look at GJ. Let me see the 30 minutes. Let's see how the 30 minutes close if I'll still decide to call a trader. If I decide to call a trader, I'll just end it. Sorry. That was perfect entry. So if I was here and this thing close, so risk to reward gang, this could be what 1:16 risk to reward, but I would never do this. Which this might have 0 drawdown, but I'd rather at least have this 1:6 risk to reward ratio. So this thing is not difficult, it's just common sense. Just allow the trick to breathe. Like, yes, you can keep it here, but it's not a flex. Like, you can just be taking out. At least, yeah, if it pushes up, if it pushes down, it's good because right now you make like 1:1, and if price gets here, I get a logic. At least at this point, that is 1:6 risk to reward ratio, which price can hit in like 2-3 minutes now, right? But I get it. I mean, do whatever makes sense to you, but I mean. So this is solid. If you see this, you can sell this if it's still at a good point, but maybe by the time the video gets uploaded and all that, it's already hit the level already. So that might be too unfortunate. So this means that USD JPY is also dropping. Let me see. Yeah, retracement. Yep, this is solid. This is solid. Solid. I would look for something like that. Boom. That is solid. It's a good head and shoulders pattern. Again, if I'm using the speed resistance fan, it's like that. So that, if you've not seen the video, go watch it. We are taking out this level here. The best level is this level here. So if you're looking to sell, like I said, you want to break out of this low or a breakout of the next decision point here, because this is the aggressive level here. Or here you could do something like this, because you have the ABC pattern. You can go with the expansion and go 1, 2, 3, and that is entry. So if this pushes back here, entry, TP1, you always have your 1:3 risk reward ratio. You always do have your 1:3 ratio. So stop loss is here. 1:3 ratio. It's easy. Easy lemons, easy. All right. But this is TP. So that's 1:8, 1:7 risk reward ratio. And it looks like there's opportunities everywhere. If this is happening, based on what is happening in the dynamics of Dixie, based on that, you could kind of predict what is most likely going to happen on almost all the pairs. Like technically, when this is happening like this, you want to be looking to buy something like AUD CHF, CAD CHF, NZD CHF, AUD CHF JPY, Euro CHF. You want to be buying them. You want to be looking to, I'm not saying buy them, looking to buy AUD card, NZD card, all those, but then you need looking to buy, which means you would wait for the right structures to come in for you to buy. And that means like pairs like USD that will be making a retracement, like the USD pairs will be making that retracement. But depending on the pair you're trading, you might want to stick to the overall trend. Right, USD JPY has been falling off. Let's see. I think there's a 3D level that I was considering. Hold on. There is something around this area that I was looking at. Let's see. This 16-hour level. It's not a fresh level. Okay, that is fresh. That is fresh. So USD this is solid. You want price to drop here, and that would be a good buy, because if you buy here and price comes back to take out a high, that is a very good risk reward ratio. So just wait patiently here. That's so much pips, like you can't even count it. Yeah, I already have a bias on USD and okay, but I'm expecting this dump here to happen, right? 786 retracements to 236. I mean, it doesn't matter, but the point is I'm waiting for this to happen. So if you're a scalper or a day trader and USD becomes weak, you can scalp this, but I will be waiting for that to buy this to the upside, right? It looks like there's a lot of trades. Find something and trade. Comment which trade looks or makes more sense to you, and which one you'll be personally be trading. And yeah, let the comments, write something, write 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 something. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. I might upload this on YouTube as well, so yeah, you can check it out on YouTube as well. And yeah, hope you make some money.